Hello, it is December 2021, and I thought I would do a state of the collection. My kind of simple, affordable collection of watches, and then use this for future references as the watches kind of come and go down the road. My goal is kind of to have a 12 watch collection. I think that's a good number to aim for, but obviously there's some sentimental pieces that would probably stay, not that they're of high value, but just sentimental reasons. Starting off with, I've had this for a long time. This is a very simple quartz Callaway watch, and picked this up at a golf tournament. It was part of the T prizes, and I wore it a long time ago for work. And ironically, this is probably the most complimented watch out of all of them. For some reason, I think people notice the type of the case, the gold. For whatever reason, I've probably gotten the most compliments on this very simple Callaway watch. This is a watch by Nixon. This is, again, really before I really knew much about watches. My wife got me a Nixon called the Banks for an anniversary, one of our earlier anniversaries. It was so big, I thought it was a little too big, so I kind of went through the Nixons and kind of liked this unusual face with the square and then the red seconds hand at the 6 o'clock. Still a big watch. Wore it for quite a while. Obviously haven't worn it in a long time, and was an anniversary gift, so I'll probably be holding on to that. When I first started learning about watches, really kind of digging in and figuring out what the difference was between an automatic and a quartz and what that meant, this was the first automatic watch I bought. And obviously it was really just an entry point to see what it was all about. A lot of people talked about the Seiko 5 as a perfect entry-level automatic watch. This is the SNKL45. Pretty small for my wrist, but I really liked it. I just liked the kind of the layout. Wore this for quite a while, and it was, what I liked about it was I liked the see-through case back. Kind of the story of the Seiko 5 and the red seconds hand. There were several things that I thought were pretty cool. Obviously didn't spend much on this. I think I picked it up for around $85. Kind of a fun little watch. Passed it on to my son. He wears it every now and then. I think something to hang on to. Something fun. They're not making this anymore. And again, great way to get into automatic watches. This was actually, I think, before I got my Seiko 5. This was my first kind of nice dress watch, actually. Committed to spending some money on. I was really just looking for a simple, again, didn't know much about watches, just wanted something with I knew I wanted a blue face. Wasn't really interested in kind of a lot of the features of a chronograph necessarily, but when I kind of dug into this and saw the perpetual calendar, I thought that was pretty fascinating and I was interested in that. Loved the Eco Drive and what it represented, and I thought that was pretty cool. It is an Eco Drive. It's at 44 millimeter, which is great for my 7.5 inch wrist. Paid, I believe, around $240 for this watch. So, at the time for me, this was a nice watch. Wore it for a long time. Super comfortable. I've tried a few other bracelets on it, but this is actually pretty comfortable. The perpetual calendar, I still think is fascinating, and love that idea. Overall, comfortable watch, nice. Useful. I wore this so much that I don't see myself getting rid of it. Obviously, the value wouldn't be there. I think it retailed initially for around $350, and I think you can actually pick these up for probably just over $100 used. A fantastic watch. Love it. Obviously, as you start learning more about watches, you can't help but dive deep into the Seiko world, and like everybody else, the value that they provide is pretty incredible, and they have something across every price range. This is the Seiko Samurai, the Pepsi version, the waffle dial. Really attracted to this watch for a lot of reasons. It was kind of in the Pepsi phase. I think there's a lot of Pepsi bezel watches out there. I absolutely loved when they brought the Samurai case back. Absolutely loved the idea of the angular edges. Just thought it looked really cool. The knurled bezel with a knurled crown. I loved everything about this watch. It came on the decent Seiko dive rubber strap. Didn't really like that strap. I tried a few other straps. When I found this strap, which is it's a Barton, one of the Barton bands. It is incredibly soft rubber, it made, you know, the quick release is super nice. It just made this watch so much more wearable. After I put this strap on, I've never taken it off. No reason to. It matches the watch, feels great, looks great. Again, this is just a watch that I love I love the waffle dial. The lume is fantastic. The Pepsi bezel is great. But I pop this on every now and then, and it kind of reminds me of what a good hefty watch should feel like. Love this watch, great watch. Don't see myself getting rid of this. Doesn't get a lot of wrist time, but still a really fun watch. Then you kind of get into the phase of watches where you really start looking at, well, what should I have? I should have one of everything. And you start, okay, well, I need one dress watch, and I need one field watch, and I need one chronograph, and I need, you know, one G-Shock. And you kind of go through that phase. This was part of that phase. This is the kind of a classic citizen diver that people say is truly a great value, and it really is. For some reason, I was browsing right around Christmas years ago, and this popped up like the day before Christmas for $88, which is you can't even believe. I don't know if it was a screw up on somebody's part, brand new. You just couldn't pass it up. This is the Promaster. This is a fantastic watch, light watch. The only thing I don't like about it is really the bezel insert. The number font is not my favorite. I've read that you can swap that out for, I think it's the same size as an SKX, and I might try that at some point. Super comfortable watch. Love the profile. I typically keep it on this Perlon strap. Wear that in the summertime. I've tried a few different strap options, but this one seems to stay. Unbelievable steal for this watch. Pick it up every now and then when I need something to grab and go. Love the lighthouse hands. Yeah. Great watch, glad I've got it. The venerable SKX. A must-have. Obviously, a lot of people have this watch and love it for a lot of reasons. I knew I had to have one. Found one while they were still making them, before they discontinued them. Didn't like the strap that came with it. I've tried a lot of different straps. The only thing I didn't like, I don't like wearing it on a NATO because it does get pretty thick. Obviously, it is a comfortable watch. That's why everybody loves it. But I thought it'd be fun to try my first mod with this watch. Number one, obviously there's so many parts available. There's so many YouTube videos about how to work on them. And so I was like, okay, this makes sense. And I was just interested. So what I did was I got a double domed sapphire crystal. I think I didn't really realize that obviously you have to get a sloped bezel insert to match with it. So I went with, I wanted something that was kind of blacked out. So I went with a matte black raised numbers, kind of like a Yachtmaster style mod. I put that on. That was pretty fun. You know, obviously it just required replacing the crystal and then swapping out the bezel insert. So not super difficult. It was fun to do, but I still found myself not wearing this as much as I thought until I found this strap. As everybody knows, a strap can make a watch. And for me, this really kind of regenerated my love for this watch. And what it is, it's the Tropic strap from Uncle Seiko. And some great history with this strap, but the way that it's shaped was key, absolutely key, because it feels so nice. It's comfortable on the wrist, easy to wear. Love the quality, the feel of the strap. And I hadn't worn this for quite a while. Put the strap on, and now I throw it on all the time. Love this watch, love the strap. Went with the kind of the matching black buckle. I'm very comfortable, glad I have it. Don't see myself getting rid of it. I am going to be getting a different bezel just to try something different. I'm going to try a ceramic black bezel. So that'll be coming up shortly. Continuing in the Seiko, I can see why there's so many Seiko fans, obviously. This is the Seiko Presage, the cocktail time, with the blue sunburst dial. When I first saw this watch, did not really like it. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was the silver hands or what, but for some reason I just didn't really like it. But for some reason that changed over time. I think the more and more I learned about the line, the history behind it, I was fascinated by it. And then I think, you know, when you really understand how the light plays on the beveled hands, yeah, just all of a sudden it just kind of sucked me in, and I had to have it. So love this watch. This is really kind of a nice dress watch to put on from time to time. I really do like the strap that came with it, the bracelet, but I did find this a kind of blue alligator strap, and I've liked this. This is a Ritchie strap. Super comfortable. I love how it matches the blue. It looks like I still have the sticker on here. I'm not sure why, but open case back. Love this for a dress watch. This is the Seiko Presage SRPB41. I think everybody feels like they need to have a G-Shock in their collection, and for me, you know, it was no different. I wanted something that I could wear on the weekend, something you could beat up, you could take on hikes, you could you know, not worry about. Loved the idea of it. Wanted to find a green one. Really kind of led me to this. This is the G-Shock GW9400-3CR, the Rangeman, the triple sensor. It has the altimeter, the compass, and the barometer. You know, like this watch, I thought it was funny when Chris Hemsworth came out with Extraction, wore this in that movie. I thought that was great. Has the reverse display, which I thought I would like, not a huge fan of. I just don't find myself wearing this that much. Most likely we'll plan to sell it, but you know, maybe replace it with a different G-Shock. Just don't wear it a lot, and might try something else. Maybe something similar in green or something. Most likely we'll be parting with this. What I did was followed it up when the GA-2100 line came out. Talk about an incredible value. It has the carbon insert there that makes it super flat, super wearable, very comfortable. Love the octagon design. I love the white with the black with the white hands, but I thought this gray was just a fun color, the gray and the red. Again, really hard to go wrong with one of these when you can pick them up for, you know, just over $100. So I find myself wearing this way more than I do the other G-Shock. This is the Alpina AL247B4SX. This is the Startimer GMT. This is the quartz version, really, really nice and thin. Do not see myself getting rid of this watch. This is, I think, a fantastic value. I was really interested in the GMT function. I thought that was pretty cool. I love the look of this. When I saw this in the watch case, I really, really love this strap color. Just the idea of this kind of fabric strap, the color off of the black dial and the case. I just absolutely loved everything about it. Couldn't get it out of my head. Finally got it. And what I found was the strap is terrible. It is super uncomfortable. I've tried to break it in. I've really tried. It's just, I don't know, maybe I need to wear it just nonstop. It just is not comfortable. It's scratchy. It's a little bit tough. It's not very pliable. So typically I'll wear this with a lot of other straps. When I've got it on this, I find myself just not wearing it. I think I just need to find a better strap for it. But great value. I like the look of this watch. Love having a pilot's watch. Love having a GMT. Enjoy this watch. The Hamilton Khaki King Auto. I loved the Hamilton story. I really wanted a field watch. You know, going with the Hamilton Khaki line is kind of a no-brainer if you're a basic entry-level watch collector. You know, you're getting a swift movements. You're getting, you know, the history of Hamilton. I do think there's a lot of value to be had here. I really like the King version of these, mainly because of the kind of the pipe hand type dial and the presidential type date and day at the top. But what I realized that I did with this watch, and I really do like this watch, it does get compliments. People notice it, they like it. I love the kind of the champagne dial. What I tried to do was I wanted a field watch and then I wanted a dress watch. And I tried to merge the two things I wanted. And I think, as most watch collectors understand, when you do that, you typically end up not getting, you know, down the road, you don't really like either one of them. And I think that's the case for me. I'm planning to sell this and to get you know, a different field watch. Probably not a Hamilton, actually. I think there's some very interesting watches coming out from SWC and Bertucci, and you know, I think you get a great entry level, really, really nice watch. You could get two of them for the price of this. But this has been a fun watch to wear. I do think it holds its value. Love the leather strap on this. I like trying out different straps with this, but it's been a fun watch to have, but I will be selling this one. More Seikos, of course. There's so many Seikos, and I get it, but I really, really love this watch. This is the SNE498. This is the Prospex Tuna. I don't know what other names. There's a lot of names for it. Obviously, this is the, out of all the Tuna watches, this is the kind of the entry level, lower end for Tuna. And then as you get deeper and deeper, you get to the 600 meter and the 1000 meter. I think this is a fantastic value. I was not really attracted or liked the Tuna style watch because I think people assume it is so big, and maybe it's too big for people to wear, until I saw a friend of mine wearing this. And once I saw it on his wrist and checked it out in person, I realized that even though the specs are really big, it doesn't wear that big, which is pretty amazing. And it is unbelievably comfortable. Absolutely love the black and gold together. The strap is incredibly comfortable, tad bit long, but I find myself grabbing and going with this. Obviously with the solar function, this kind of wears with anything. Really glad I picked this watch up. I think it retails for $395 MSRP. I picked it up for a little over $200 new. Fantastic watch. Glad it's part of the collection, and don't see myself getting rid of this. Wear this a lot. Christopher Ward. My brother's always been into Christopher Ward watches. He and I had a little watch exchange a couple years ago, and this is the watch that he got me. We both ended up getting Christopher Ward watches. They had announced that this was coming out. This is the C60 Sapphire. They announced this was coming out, and we talked about it, and I think he picked up pretty quickly. This was the watch I wanted, so he got it for me, and it's amazing. Absolutely love this watch. I think Christopher Ward, I don't know that you can call them a micro brand anymore. They just make some truly incredible stuff. Tons of value for the price you pay. And if you don't know, this is the sapphire, meaning that the dial is actually made out of a kind of a sapphire wafer. Not only that, it's see-through, and what's fun is you can see, it's kind of hard to see in different light, but you can actually see the date ring on the back. It's another piece of sapphire. You can see the rotor. Really like this case back. Super comfortable Christopher Ward strap, quick release, very comfortable. Glad I got it on this. Really fun watch. Wear this a lot. It's 40 millimeter, which is absolutely perfect. There is glare. I know there's some people that have an issue with the glare, but love the blue, love the silver bezel. It's a perfect size. The second hand, absolutely love that as well. And love being when I pick it up and I do change the date. I love kind of getting the light in there and I can see the date wheel move underneath the dial. And now, final watch is a custom build. I really wanted to figure out how to build a watch. This is what I ended up making. There's a lot of ways that you can go. A lot of watches that I'd like to have, whether it's a bronze watch or a field watch, pilot watch, a lot of ways to go with this. I kind of settled on trying to figure out my version of like a Rolex 6358, kind of the early James Bond style of vintage divers. What I ended up doing, this is an NH38 movement, no date, with a kind of a vintage diver watch face, Mercedes hands, and then this is the Seiko 62 MAS 62 Moss case, which I really love the shape of this case. The only thing I didn't like was and I really loved the low profile bezel with the top hat crystal. So it really had everything I wanted. The bezel obviously is not really reminiscent of a vintage diver, the bezel insert. But this is a really fun watch. I think it was fun to kind of figure out how to put the hands on. That was very difficult. The second hand was extremely difficult, but I learned a lot in the process. But I actually like wearing this watch. It's a little thick with the NATO on there, but overall very comfortable. It's lug to lug. It's pretty big, this case, but I like the look of it. I like the style. Pretty comfortable, and it was a fun build. I think I'll be building a few more in the future. That is the state of my collection as of December 2021. We'll see where I end up over the next couple of years, but thanks for watching.